saying? Mike Raglan. Are you shorting it up, Raz? Maybe because you dress, you know what I'm saying? You dress cool or whatever. But I was like, hell no. And even when I rant, like I've heard people like jokingly say, "No, you a know-it-all." Like I don't know a lot of shit. The more that I go and seek knowledge, the more I realize it's a lot of shit I don't know. There's always 1,000 Michaels everywhere, so just always be able to go Mike Rags, you know, just stuck. That's how I came up with the Rags. Well, first off, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
2021. Now, I know 2020 was I've been trying to get over saying what's good and bad or what's better or worse. So I'll just say it was a different year for a lot of people. I know it tested a lot of us. But I want to just start off with just one thing that was like a blessing that came out of 2020 for y'all. I can start it. I know one thing for me in particular was like it taught me how not in control I am of what goes on around me. So the only thing I can do then is be less anxious, be more patient, and be more persistent. So that's something I got out of 2020. It was like, I know, like Michael can't be God. You know, and I think sometimes we get so caught up in our own abilities and our own talents and our own things that we be like, man, shit, I could do anything. But then 2020 showed us like, but anything can be taken away just like that. So, like I said, it just taught me to be patient, to be less anxious, and to be more persistent, man. That's my blessing that came out of 2020. What say you?
You're funny. For 2020, the mental mindset shift was let go of what doesn't serve you. Like just jobs, relationships, family members, if they are not actually aiding in your growth, your progression in the overall trajectory, you gotta let it go.
Yeah,
there's no point in sitting in that.
Yeah. Amen. Amen.
Well, for me personally, it taught me.
Oh my gosh.
My fault. You saw how we keeping all this.
You know what I'm saying? I can't prep to articulate myself.
Oh, Jesus.
I was just, you know what I'm saying, finna lay my sauce down. Like,
he's so light skinned.
Yeah.
My fault.
It gotta be the light skin part. We had to edit that.
Look, stereotypes.
Exactly. Gotta separate the divide. Gonna keep it going. Okay, 2021. Just gonna keep rolling with it.
He asked for me to be here. All right, so basically, it taught me, you know what I'm saying, patience is a talent. It definitely takes a lot of willpower to be able to accept the things that come in front of you that you're not prepared for. Secondly, time is the most valuable asset that we have accessible to us on a day-to-day basis. And if you're not utilizing it, it can slip away and you can regret the things that you thought were going to be there tomorrow that are not. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, just think about how many people died that we were not expecting or prepared to leave. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to look at every day like it's the last for real. And don't think like I got more time. No, I got the time that I got right now.
No, I feel it. In that mindset, it definitely made me appreciate those who I feel like are family. Cause I mean, our family is bigger than blood to me for sure. Like, especially with my family really being in Memphis and me being here. Like, it's it taught me that family is very important. Like, those who you keep around you to keep you stable, keep you balanced, and that they have your best interest. It made me want to, like, because I'm bad at picking up the phone sometimes. Like, I'm really bad at, like, picking up the phone. So it made me try to reach out. I spent more time with my parents this year than I ever have, and, well, I ain't gonna say I ever. I grew up with them. But since I've been an adult, yeah, I made sure I go visit them. Because, like you said, time is just so precious, and I don't want to take for granted that I have time, later. You know what I'm saying? Like, time is now. This is what we got. So I was definitely with you on that.
For sure.
Yeah, man. 2020 was like I said, it was different, but what I'm expecting from 2021 for real is just, I'm not gonna say more of the same, because I think life is still gonna be a little different for a while with COVID and just everything else that's going on. But I do expect 2021 to be more of a reaping, type of year instead of a sowing year. Like I think 2020 maybe sit the fuck down and be like, all right, bet you need to either spend your time, that asset, either making yourself better or planting seeds for business or planting seeds for things that I like to do. And I think 2021 should. I'm expecting to see some shit from it. I don't know about y'all.
Yeah,
I agree.
man, this is the year of execution. You know what I'm saying? Like you had a whole year to prepare.
You did.
Oh, an entire
So
year.
you had a whole year to adjust and prepare. Adjust to what the circumstances of our current situation is in the world, which is mask and potentially catching COVID and travel bylaws and all these things that are adjusting in the presidencies and things of that nature. You've had your opportunity to get yourself in condition for that. You know what I'm saying? Now is the year to take advantage of that preparation that you were supposed to have set forth in 2020 once you had time to sit down and put a play together.
Yeah.
That and the fact that you shouldn't just say you're going to do something. Like, we need to just jump. Like, we let fear make us, like, not do actions that we planned yesterday. So it's like 2020 was like, okay, either you're going to travel or you're not going to travel. Either you're going to, like, go out and find a new job or you're not, or you're going to start a business. So it's more so, like, implementation.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Being active.
Instead of I'm gonna.
Right. Instead of now, and I know that's sometimes a big thing for me because I'm so analytical. I like to analyze everything to the most finite detail, like the most minuscule thing that I can find. I'm trying to make sure I iron out all the details before I go. And what I learned in 2020 is sometimes life gonna force you to be like, all right, well, shit, you got to go now. Like you don't have anything else for really to lean on or that you can really count on other than yourself. So, it just
Gotta grab that shit and run.
yeah, for real. Like 2020 definitely helped me become more fearless too. Like really. Like I don't really fear much as far as my abilities to do something, or my ability to be able to withstand. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes this shit ain't gonna always be about going up. Sometimes I'm just gonna have to be able to get through.
Yeah.
So I can then go up.
Maintaining is maintaining.
Right,
like,
for sure.
You're not losing.
Yeah.
That's
you feel
true.
me? If you stay steady and steadfast, that doesn't mean that you're going up, but it definitely doesn't mean you're going down. So you still have an opportunity to elevate. It's no setback or hindrance.
Okay.
Yeah. See now, I know in 2021 something I want, and I haven't told either one of y'all this about like what I'm trying to go to here, but mental health. I really want to talk to like a therapist in 2021. Like I really want to go get therapy. Because this is my thing about mental health. I think it's becoming so popular now to say we're all traumatized. I believe that we've all dealt with some sort of trauma, but it's like physical trauma. Like some people really break arms, or some people really like dislocate or tear AC, like, and some people just get paper cuts. Both are traumas, you know what I'm saying? But one is a slight trauma that you should be able to fix.
One is more severe than the other.
Yeah, right. And so I don't like people always getting too. I don't want to sound wrong. I don't want people to always use mental trauma as something as a reason to be weak.
Yep.
Like it's not. Like I do believe that there are some people who, like I said, have severe mental trauma. Like me personally, growing up, I really can't see too many like severe traumas that I would have had. My parents did an excellent job. Not saying that they were perfect. They definitely made their mistakes, but as far as providing, showing me love, like just being able to, like I don't have any big problems as far as like, I've talked to some folks and be like, man, I told somebody one day, I said, when I get rich or when I get that bag, So I probably just give it to my mom and let her manage everything. Cause like somebody's like, "But I would never give my mom." I was like, "For real?" Like I
would give my mom.
I feel that, man. You know what I'm saying?
I would give it all to my mama.
I'm
good.
But I take for granted that my relationship with my parents
is better than most.
Right. I thought most people's relationship with their parents were like, I would trust my parents with my life and my livelihood. And and it's sad that some people really can't. And I know you can speak on it a little more so because you've been a lot more independent since you were 18 than I was. So it's just like, I don't know, man. Just like I take that for granted. Do you believe that you have like some traumas that you need to really get worked out? Do you believe there's some?
It's crazy because like I was having a conversation with my godmother about this earlier this week, and she was telling me like she would like for me to go to therapy, and I just kept trying to repeat to her like I let go of any resentment that I had towards my parents and the things that they did to me as in my upbringing, like at 25. Because that was when I like went completely against the grain of what normality was for what they classified as normal and acceptable, and said, "Fuck what y'all talking about. I'm gonna figure this out on my own."
Right.
And I probably went like almost a year and a half, 2 years without talking to my parents. Like I didn't call either one of them. I didn't pick up the phone for them. I didn't ask for anything. If I was down on my ass, I got myself out of that situation. If I was on my dick, I got myself out of that situation. Any conflict of interest that wasn't going smooth for myself, I roughed them edges out, buffed that shit, and smoothed it out myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I completely depended on me to show them that I don't need y'all. You understand what I'm saying? So that way I gained my respect from them in that aspect, because it's like, we know that he'll be the last one to call. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have any resentment. I'm in a space, you know what I'm saying, where I'm conditioned to be my own self, beat to my own drum. I feel like people who blame everything on traumatic experiences have a very low accountability index about their life in general. They don't like for anything to be on them. Yeah. They blame it on everybody else and circumstances that happened 15, 20 years ago. Like, that means that you're holding on to it, for one. And secondly, you don't know how to say, this is where I fucked up. This is where I went wrong. This is my accountability for the errors and mistakes that I've made. Because if you never get to that phase, then you could never forgive anybody.
Right.
Because you're never looking at yourself as the issue. Like, it's so, yeah, me personally, I don't know if I need therapy or not. Like, for the most part, I keep myself at a pretty mental balanced state, and I do that by meditating and learning certain ways to cope with certain shit, so it doesn't affect me or bother me or trigger me in a bad way to send me down a slippery slope.
But, and I feel you on that, because for the things that I have experienced, anything that I've experienced that was traumatic in my life, I put myself in. Like, I definitely understand it. Like, it wasn't because of my parents. It wasn't because of a lack of. It was because of stupidity. Like, I understand that fully. But what I want to say is that what I've started to realize, because I have a friend, she does this for like kids who are in a not in foster care, but it's like in child care services. Like, she goes and she does like the mental breakdown and, you know, try to figure out ways and things that they can do to help better that child's mental, emotional. And we were talking one day, and she put it to me like this, basically. If I were to break my arm, I'm smart enough to know I can put a splint on it myself, and I can do the process myself. But it's not the same as if I were to go to a professional, someone who does it for a living, who studied it, to then be able to, because then it'll probably heal quicker, faster, and I'll actually probably come back stronger than if I was to just, do it myself, for a second.
That's what I was just about to ask. Have you talked, now you said you dealt with it when you were 25. Have you ever talked to somebody about the things that like you've gone through, like childhood, your relationship with your parents? That's just
many.
I'm saying that might not know you.
Okay,
so they can give us
unbiased.
Yeah.
I'll say nah.
Yeah, see, that's a big thing too. That's what,
and so the people that you talk to, are they mostly like family members or like?
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure, family members.
And see, that's why my friend told me she couldn't be my therapist, because she was like, Mike, I've known you since you were a little boy. Her and my brother and them are like best friends. So she's seen me grow. She was like, Mike, I really wouldn't be able to give you the best help because I know you, right? We have a history, so that means that I might be a little biased in what I do tell you or what I don't tell you. She's like, but I have some friends who don't know you, who are good, and she referred me to some. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think getting that from somebody you don't know. A third party. Yeah, somebody you don't know is big. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not opposed.
Okay,
that's what the question is.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
I'm not opposed to therapy.
How about you and your upbringing and your relationship with your family? How would those dynamics help shape Julia?
My mom has been the biggest driver and supporter from me. I have a rocky relationship with my dad. I do want to go to therapy. I don't blame my dad. I let that go and forgave him. But at the same time, I know that I have things that I might carry around just as far as in relationships dealing with males because of how as far as my relationship with my dad was.
I like that segue.
So I can say that I do want to do therapy. I'm the same way with you. I take accountability for my actions. I don't believe you can blame anybody, especially at our age. We're 28, 29, 30. I shouldn't be blaming you for something that you did when I was 12, 13, 14, 15 because I should have been able to heal myself because I should have been able to be more accountable and understand as from a different perspective. So,
and like I said, I don't think we've all been through some traumatic things emotionally, mentally, physically. You know what I'm saying? As far as our upbringing, but I don't think because I don't want to belittle anyone who might really have suffered a trauma and they really couldn't get past it and it happened to them 15, 20 years. I don't know what I would do if I would have ever have been sexually, you know what I'm saying, mistreated or raped or something at a young age. I don't know if I could just be oh shit, it's 20 years ago now. Shit, I should be able to bounce back. It might not be that easy. You know, I don't want to make it seem like it, but I feel I feel like a lot of us are dealing with things that we can really.
Yeah, I was about to say even when I was speaking of a low accountability index, I'm speaking more so of people who use traumatic experiences to make bad decisions. You know what I'm saying? Not so much as the person that you can see suffering on. You know what I'm saying? You know that they're going through something when they're by themselves and they're in the dark, most of the days that they're living in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I want to clear that up. I didn't mean that to anybody who is going through something.
Got it. PC it.
Yeah, gotta
and I don't want to get too personal, but I just always wanted to ask you this question too, because you are bipolar, right? Or so what is? Because when you hear bipolar, I think of it's a crazy ass nigga, but I know you my brother, I know you're not like that, but I have been around you when your shit switch, but it's not necessarily on a violent or an aggressive thing too. A lot of times it's real.
Just I get distant. I get distant, and it's I don't really have control over. As in the aspect of I have to have really stable days. You know what I'm saying? But most days, if I wake up and I'm just not in a good mood, then it just takes me a second to get myself going. Not saying I can't shake out of it or it'll be a fucked up day the entire day. It'll just have to be a lot of fucked up shit going on that day where I couldn't shake it back. But, I wake up on the wrong side of the bed. And other times it's just I have a high tolerance for bullshit. And what I mean by that is I can take a lot. You know what I'm saying? I can carry a lot of weight on my shoulders, but once the glass tips over, then I usually have a break. You know what I'm saying? Now, and you done been there when that happened before. You know what I'm saying? But it take a lot for me to get there. I have to be going through a whole bunch of shit. Long as I'm keeping my life pretty steady, where the money good, I can take care of what I need to take care of when I need to take care of. I can move when I need to move. Even if I have a little hiccup here and there, that ain't bad. You know what I'm saying? At least worse shit going on.
Right.
So I can get through it knowing that. You understand? I always know it could be worse. And I guess that thought process always helps me kind of not hold on to that shit or carry it so rugged. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm I'm going through this, but it's somebody definitely going through worse situation than I am. So this shit ain't that bad. Shake it off. Keep going. Just get to the next day. If you got to go to sleep early, whatever I got to do to get up out of it, I'm trying to get out of it. Most people, I feel or some people like to suck in it. It's like it become a coat. You know what I'm saying? That they can't pull off of their back. Me, on the other hand, I'm trying to get it off. I don't want it. I don't want that. I hate that feeling.
Right. Now, you just did a perfect segue into what I wanted to get into.
All right. Well, can I ask a question first?
Yeah, go ahead.
All
Go
right.
first.
Have
No,
you
for sure.
ever taken medication for bipolar disorder?
No,
Okay.
because I didn't really start recognizing symptoms of my bipolar situation until I was older, into my later 20s. I'm me or so yeah, I didn't start recognizing symptoms and how my moods were swinging until later on.
Okay.
And for the most part, me smoking.
Cannabis endorsement. There we go. There we go.
Georgia, get out and vote.
January 5th. January 5th.
Let's do it.
For real, we need them Senate seats.
Yeah, we do, because
See how
Mitch
Mitch out there
McConnell
going crazy.
just can't do it. Can't do it no more.
Damn mind.
There should be an age limit. Like,
And I didn't realize bro was from Louisville. Well, at least
Kentucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh,
yeah.
that's another little bad stamp on Kentucky. But ma'am,
Yes,
now
sir.
that we have some estrogen in here,
Oh, Lord.
feel me, we can get away from all the testosterone.
Yeah, you need that added. You know? Sorry. So sorry.
What? So you say you don't use what happened with your relationship with your father as an excuse for how kind of rocky your relationships are with men. What? On try to make it as simple as 1 + 1 is 2 for me. What is it that y'all even want
As far as from a
me?
man.
Yes, as far as like, no, I'm gonna leave it blank just like that. I'm gonna
Okay.
go down.
So I can't speak for all women.
For
I
sure.
can speak for myself personally.
Right, but it is still a female perspective.
It is a female perspective. For me, I am very big on gender roles, and that, like, I'm sure I'll get backlash for that, but I'm very big on like a traditional, I want somebody that can protect and provide. And unfortunately, because of like life, I've always had to be the one that provided for myself. And I don't have a problem with that, but it also makes it a little harder to date because I make a lot more money than like other people that I've dated. And it can be a tough situation for them to deal with. So for me, I want somebody that can protect and provide. I want someone that is very spiritual, and really, I just want you to be active. Like, I don't want nobody that's just sitting on their ass. Hell no.
No bomb.
Jesus, no.
All right, so
And that's simple. Oh, I need affection and romance. That was
okay.
it. Okay,
You know what I'm
there we
saying?
go.
And that's what we was just saying.
I forgot to add the wait. That was 5. That was 5.
But no,
Protect, provide.
but that's our point. Yeah.
Active. But I will tell somebody, I'm super direct when I date. So it's like, if you ask me what I need, I will. And I've been working like at 29 on being very direct in communication.
That's a big thing, I think.
Facts.
But that's kind of like, okay. I hear a lot of women say they want a nigga they want a man who can protect, provide. Like, those are the basic, like, alpha male dudes they usually kind of look for. Or they at least want to. I just saw a post, a woman said she wants an alpha male with emotional intelligence. And I get that. But what I've realized, too, in being single for, like, 4 or 5 years now, like, really just being not out here on no, like, I don't know, whole shit. Just out here. You know, just,
Had to clean it up.
just being out here as far as like not having one person that I have to answer to, right? So I've been able to meet and date different women, and they all say the same thing: protect, provide, blase, blase, blase. But then there's always, once you get into a situation, there's always more. Oh,
These were the starter requirements.
Right.
Level
Like,
1.
it's like, yeah, for real. So
Let's
it's
go
like,
to level 2 now.
But you, in relationships, you do unlock different levels. Like, somebody that I'm talking to, we interact way differently than my boyfriend.
Okay, so I feel like unlocking levels is just becoming more understanding of each other.
That is it.
Okay, but I don't feel like that has anything to do with your set
My
requirements.
requirements.
Yeah, like those should be the same.
I think the
from
requirements that I gave are like my set requirements, but as far as like how we operate and how we like will be in a relationship, that's gonna change as far as time progresses.
And I believe, I do believe that. I've had some friends that have been dating since college, and I was talking this with one of my other homeboys the other day, and to see them in college and how they interact with each other, and to see them now, it's like the shit that they used to get into back in college, they don't even faze them anymore. Like it's like
Dead.
they've grown so far past that, and it amazes me like to see how. First off, I knew my homeboy how he was before her when they first dated until now. You know what I'm saying? The growth in him. So I do believe there is growth and an unlocking of levels. But I was watching the Carmichael show, and one day they were joking, and Gerard said, when a woman buys a Toyota, she can't expect to one day have a Lexus. You bought a Toyota.
Amen.
Like, this is what you said you wanted. So then, like, you're gonna have to either move on from that Toyota and get you a Lexus, or but you can't expect that Toyota to turn into a Lexus, because although they made from the same company, they are two totally, like, it's different. It's a difference. It's a different level.
It is.
So, you know, I think that's one thing too, because I think,
and I mean that's shown amongst women though. It's women who have Bentley requirements
Amen.
right off the back. You have some that have Honda Accord requirements right off the back.
Sure.
Like it varies. It definitely varies.
wait.
And anything in between.
So, okay, just as an example. So what is a Honda requirement and what's a Bentley requirement?
Okay, and
Let's
this
talk.
and this is the thing. One is not any worse than the other or better than the other. It's
You gotta
just
clean it
this.
up. No, you gotta clean it up. Come on, just cut to the chase, you know?
I do.
Nah,
first.
straight no chaser.
I
Straight no
do.
chaser.
I
Come
do.
on, come on.
It's straight no chaser. I'm just saying that the difference is just a set of standards. Okay, so one woman who has a Honda Accord requirements may just want time from you.
Okay.
May just want to be in your presence a lot. She may be clingy, so she just needs attention. Those are Honda Accord requirements. The other woman may want all of her bills covered by you dealing with her. This woman may want vacations. This
I need
woman may want this
no,
woman
paid sponsored vacations.
Yes,
I want a sponsored vacation because I will reciprocate.
Okay,
There's the thing about reciprocity.
but the thing is, but that's just something extra to you. That's not something that's a requirement.
No, it is, because I asked somebody. Yes, because I asked somebody, "Do you have a passport?" before we start dating, because I've dated people that didn't have passports, and I gave my ex-boyfriend a passport for his birthday. So no, I've learned there are levels, and I know what I like. I like to travel. I will get on a plane next week.
You in Lexus.
I will get on a plane next week and have no problem.
It's a little more than Toyota Camry. You feel me? It's just a little more.
It's really a learning thing. Like, when you date, you learn. So I learned that, okay, I will hit up my girls and be like, we said in May, okay, we're going to go to Tulum in June. Okay, if I'm dating someone, I need you to be like, okay, I got you. I don't need it to be like a he and a her. I don't got time for that.
So is this dating, or we are in a relationship? This your dating requirement or your relationship requirement?
It's a relationship requirement, because there are people that I talk to that don't have that. So I'll give you that.
Okay, so it's some women who in the dating requirements. These are the set standards, right in. Right,
but are these the people that a person is? Well, yeah, I guess you're right. Taken seriously, because we got that city girl mentality. So I can't even lie. All right.
The more you hold, the more she wants, depending on the woman you dealing with.
Sure. But I don't. Now, this is one thing about me, and I know this same about you, because you a big. Like, I gotta be the provider. I remember you told me one day, bro, like, you don't even want like your woman to ever really have to work. Now, I'm not saying you don't want a lazy woman who just gonna sit, but you saying like you want to be so much of a provider that she doesn't even have to worry about anything. And I'm pretty much the same way. Like, if I'm going. Like, if I invite you somewhere, I'm expecting you to come with. You can leave your purse at home type deal. Like, I'm gonna take care of, because I invited you.
Right.
Well,
now, if I couldn't afford to invite you, then I won't invite you.
Right. If a nigga ain't keeping it, if a nigga ain't setting it at that standard, that's some sucker shit. You shouldn't invite anybody.
Right.
If you're not prepared.
Yeah. If I'm not going to invite you on a trip and be like, well, bet. You
cover this.
You need to cover
the
this,
food and the drinks, and I got the hotel.
Not bad. Like, I'm gonna invite you, then it's on me. Like, I'm that type of dude.
Anything you do,
my dad is that type of.
Discretion.
You know what I'm saying? Like, first off, both of my parents. I'm not gonna even just say my daddy like that. My mama, because I've also seen my mama be. You know what I'm saying? Like, more of a. If I do this, then I expect you to let me take care of you too. And so I've dated women who were like on their shit and sometimes want to treat me. At first, it was very uncomfortable. To be honest, like, I think it was just a pride thing, an ego thing. But it was just like, I can't let you take care of me. I can't let you treat me. That's my job. And when you were talking about gender roles, I think I do believe in gender roles, but I believe that they are established per couple.
I
You
agree.
see what I'm saying? Like I don't believe there is a blanket.
No, it's not.
Because my parents' gender roles would not be the traditional. Just like because my mama would cook, clean, get out there and cut the grass sometimes. Like if my pops was at work or something, I was too young and Brandon had first moved out, she'd be out there cutting the grass, like in the yard. Like my mama do all, but I'm saying she'd do all that. Like my mama was a country girl, so she'll do all that. Like my daddy do all. My daddy'll cook.
Support to your mama. Shout out to Mama Rags, Jesus, because she a real one. Amen.
My daddy will clean, but he'll cook. He'll do other things that some people will find like more domestic. Okay. My dad, I tell people all the time, like my dad is probably the more emotional one out of the family. Like my mom is like more of the
composed,
stern, like more of the like. But my daddy was still the disciplinarian. You know what I'm saying? But my mom still gave me ass whippings too. So it's like their gender roles are like so all over the place. It just
an emotional person can whoop some ass. Though. He's mad. He's mad.
But I'm saying emotional on the tip of like, you know how parents, like most people get calls from their parents, or unless you're a girl, because I know daddy's girls, like so daddies do that for their girls a lot out here. But usually for boys, it's more of like the mama's calling and checking in on y'all all the time. My dad is that person in the family. He's the one that's going to call if anything happens to anybody and make sure like he gives you that word just because he cares. He's thinking like he's that type of person. And so when I do that for people, that's who I get that from. But then my mom is the more or less like, if you need me, I'm here. But I'm not necessarily going to always overextend myself to come get you type deal. You know what I'm saying? She'll do anything for you, but she's here. Come meet me. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I get that from. Yeah, because when things happen to me, I don't want people bombarding me with phone calls and always just trying to pop up on me. Like if something tragic were to happen to me, like I'm not going to want that right away. Like give me time to be around by myself, process things, then I'll reach out to you because you should still be there. You know what I'm saying? But my dad is more, like I said, he's more of he just feels like he got that save of everybody syndrome. You know what I'm saying? Like he just feel like he can save everything, everybody, and that's so it's like so gender roles
would
for
they
me.
Be considered an empath?
Yeah.
I think he's definitely more of the empath in the family for sure. Okay. And my mom's more of the analytical, like what makes sense. Like she was a math major, valedictorian. Like she's extremely smart in math. So everything has to make sense to her. Yeah, like if it's not about the numbers, like she not. And I tell her that like it's so hard for me to understand how she is such a great woman of faith because like mama, if you really look at faith, that shit don't add up. It's faith. That's why it's faith. Like I believe what I believe, not just because I grew up in the church. I went through some shit and had to have. And I'm analytical. Sometimes I had to rely on something other than the numbers because the shit just don't add up. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I don't understand how she could be such a strong woman in faith sometimes and be so like, but no, it has to add up. Like,
probably because faith is in the spirit and numbers are in the mind.
So
they have
separated.
a separate distinguishment.
Okay, I feel what you're saying.
That still can coexist.
She can in her spirit and her soul, you saying she can like have faith. But in her mind, she still need everything. I feel like they need to work in tandem, though. Yeah, I think they need to work in tandem.
I don't think so. I don't think that because if data is driven by something,
and that's what
your spirit, your faith, that's not powered by research and it's not powered by information and science. That's not how it works.
That's true. And there are forces definitely in this universe greater than what we can just see
on pinpoint on a paper, technology. It don't work like that.
And that's why most of the rich people don't like to contradict. They just want to be on one side of it. So they pick the numbers.
That's true.
For sure. Yeah.
They pick the numbers over the faith.
But you still have those, that, and I would say a lot of colored people who get money that still have their faith though, because that's what we grew up on. Like,
right.
Most black people in the South, I would say, I'm not gonna definitely speak for Northern people, but in the South, you were Alabama, nigga. You were boy. At some point in time, you have sat down and listened to a sermon. I don't care who you are in the South. At some time, even if it was on TV,
I agree.
Like that is pushed on us. So
That's
I
a
think
staple.
so I think sometimes with us, even when we make it, we still gonna always thank God. You know what I'm saying? We still gonna
Amen.
always know that we blessed. You know what I'm saying?
You ain't get yourself out of all of it.
Right, yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Like you have to know that
did.
there's something greater than you moving around doing stuff. Now and that's one thing I don't get big on. Like I believe what I believe, but I understand folks who don't believe what I believe. And I can still be your friend and you not believe what I believe. Like I'm cool with that. Like I'm so okay with being around people who don't believe in every ideal that I believe in. As long as your morals and stuff align, as long as your energy aligns with mine, I'm cool with you. You don't have to believe everything I believe. And I know I'm passionate about a lot of things that I believe in, so I speak when I do. And even when I rant, like I've heard people like jokingly say, you're a know-it-all. And like I don't know a lot of shit. The more that I go and seek knowledge, the more I realize it's a lot of shit I don't know. So I never speak from a place of matter of fact. I'm just speaking
From
my
your opinion,
my
but it comes
perspective.
strong.
But it's
Jesus.
I'm a passionate person about what I believe. If I believe it, I believe it, right? So I'm gonna speak on it. And this is another thing about me that people don't like sometimes is that I can speak just as strongly about something today, learn something as soon as I leave here, and tomorrow you see me, and I believe. Well, I'm not gonna just believe it that quick, but I will not be as like you know what I'm saying. I will.
You're not tied to that,
right?
as
I'm
far
not
as
as tied. I'm
perspective.
not tied to this opinion anymore because I've learned that gap. I learned in this gap and realized some things, and so now it's a different opinion. And a lot of people don't like to change like that.
But that doesn't make sense. Then that means that they're not studious. Like how are you a sponge and you
you're so rigid.
A sponge absorbs. As
Right.
It absorbs,
Well,
it
when
grows, it
it's
expands.
when it's wet now, if it's not getting any lubrication,
Yeah.
then it's brittle.
Yeah,
It breaks.
facts.
You're right. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So you need to be wetting
It
it up.
has to be absorbed.
Pause. So you know.
But that's why they said that learning should only stop when you're dead. Like not everybody believes that, but
Right. Nah,
just
yeah.
the sponge. Like
Yeah, for sure.
if you're not
You
learning,
can
then
never
you die.
learn it all. It's so much information that you will never be
Yeah.
able. Because even when it comes to learning stuff, you have to repetitionally process shit. So
Yeah,
I
for
could
sure.
read a book one time and only get a certain small amount of information from it. I have to go back into that book again and dissect it more and more and more to thoroughly understand the entire body of what it was. Like,
And see, I do that with like movies or shows. People always ask me, Mike, you always watch. Like, I don't really watch TV new shows. I watch what I like: Boondocks, Fresh Prince. You know what I like: Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Boondocks, Carmichael Show. Like those are my type of shows. I watch them so much though because every time I watch them, or like a Dave Chappelle stand up, every time I watch them, I get something different from it. I swear, because they are shows with message. Like it's something they want me to learn from this too. Like they are giving me lessons. And each time it's like reading the Bible. Like if you read the Bible or a passage more than once, every time you read it, you should, because you're at a different place in life for one thing. Even if you read it now and 5 minutes later, in those 5 minutes, you are in a different place in life. So you should have a different perspective, or I think, you know what I'm saying? I just hate that there are so many people who are ignorant and are really okay with being ignorant. Like they feel like changing, or they feel like, you know what I'm saying, people not having the same opinion today that they did yesterday is a sign of almost weakness. Like it's like you're not strong enough to stand on.
your
Yeah,
stuff.
like
people feel what they can't foresee, bro.
the unknown. Yeah, for sure. People don't like the unknown.
You don't know what your future has, and if you go into a different cycle, a different loop, then it's definitely going to be something different from what it was last year. People like comfort. People like being somewhere where they're sheltered and protected, and a lot of times that's in the same fucking loop over and over again. That's why people get caught up in the same job doing the same thing for 15 years, 20 years, because they like the comfort and security of what that offers. You know what I'm saying? They know what they're going to wake up to. They know what they're going to go to sleep to, and they know how the next day going to start. You know what I'm saying? Like, they know that without a shadow of a doubt.
Right.
Anybody who's simultaneously adjusting their lives, they don't know what the future holds. They know what they're prepping for,
Right.
but they never know what's in
They don't know
front
the
of
outcome.
Nah,
Yeah,
they don't know. They just know what they're trying to get to.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
I think because we all business owners, so like you still work corporate though and still have a business outside of you. I just find decided to jump off the porch and really be full-time business owner. You've been a business owner for years now. So it's like, the uncertainty does some days make me anxious. It gets me to a point of like, sometimes I get anxious, right? Because it's, like you said, I'm doing all this prepping, and I know what I want. Sometimes I want that shit to cook faster though, right? But you really can't rush. Like, cooking is a process that takes time. Once you prep, once you get everything laid how you want it, once you put it in that oven, it has to bake on like time, heat, time. Like, pressure and time is what makes it, you know what I'm saying, what you want. Mm-hmm. So I think sometimes for me, I had to learn to embrace that. I had to really learn how to embrace it. And then I had to learn how to adjust myself. Because now I'm not getting a paycheck, you know what I'm saying, every 2 weeks like I've been getting for the last few years. Like, now I get paid when I work at that time, you know what I'm saying? When I go and cut somebody's hair, I get paid then. If I sell them some beard oil or product with it, I get paid then. Mm-hmm. So then it made me realize that, okay, so now I have to take the money that I'm getting though and be more deliberate with it, right? I have to be more I just can't get that money and just be like, oh well, I get some more the next day. I get some more, because tomorrow today I might cut 8-10 heads. Tomorrow I might cut one. It's different. So I can't go spend this money today thinking like, well shit, I'm just gonna make it again tomorrow. I can, but there's a possibility that I can't. You know what I'm saying? So it's made me become more, I guess, frugal. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying, with how I am and more, like I said, deliberate. Like, not every dollar I get, I'm trying to figure out where should I put it. You know what I'm saying? Like, where should I put this? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I got to pay myself too, out of that too first. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but that state of mind is the one that gets you to becoming a millionaire.
I agree.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's not a millionaire that's not sitting here counting their dollars. You know what I'm saying?
Every dollar, yeah.
Looking at how it's spent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Checking their expenses, examining every single ounce of it, because they've been in that space where they've lost it.
I about to say now you have some the ones who are millionaires but don't do that aren't millionaires for long.
Yeah, right.
And they don't increase their, as far as millions, it's like delayed gratification. Like, I think for us, like, as far as people of color, we're big on like instant gratification, just like growing up. So it's like getting to a mindset of understanding like financial literacy and understanding like how to be better with the money that you have to make it work for you.
Mm-hmm. And see, and that goes back to like the numbers. It's so crazy that I'm so good with numbers that I never really looked at it.
Yeah.
Just like it's really just a simple breakdown of percentages and what I know I have. These are my expenses every month that I know coming. Mm-hmm. All right, so boom, I know I broke it down to how much I need to make a day to be able to live. You know what I'm saying? How many heads I need to cut on average a day to be able to live. Like, and it's just by the numbers. And I still have enough to outside expenses, groceries, like things that I need to survive outside of just things I need to stay where I need to stay. But I think the reason that is harder for some people is because, like you said, instant gratification, because they never really had anything. I was blessed, like I said, by my parents to not, but I've never been put in a position where my parents had to ask me for money. You know what I'm saying? I know it's not like that. You know what I'm saying? For a lot of people. So, and it just like, my parents never put me in that. So I've never struggled, if that makes, like, my parents weren't rich, but I damn sure ain't struggled. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's just like, I can now be like, okay, you know what? Because my parents would be able to afford something for me and then still tell me no. Because I should, like, what, do you need it? Like, is it a purpose? Like, what's different between that shoe that you want that's $150 versus this shoe that's $50, $60? You know what I'm saying? I'm still kind of like that now when I'm shopping. Like, whatever you see me in, bro, I found it on sale. Like, I'm never paying full price for anything, for real. Like, even if I got the money right there in my pocket, I'm still not finna, you know, and that's just something that they instilled in me. But a lot of people aren't raised with that mindset. Yeah. So it's just like, shit, when I get this bread, you gonna know I got this bread because it's gonna be on me. And I be like, damn, you just really want somebody to come rob you. Like, for real.
It's not intentional though. Like, they're not doing it with the sense of like, saying come rob me. But when you never had shit, like really never had shit, it's hard not to spend it on yourself when you never had anybody willing to spend it on you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I can definitely understand it.
So yeah, like I wouldn't expect anybody that has came from that type of situation to not blow it first. Right. I would be surprised if you didn't blow it. You know what I'm saying? Because your first instinct is to go blow it, to spend it. Like I started realizing like money ain't money if you could spend it on one item. So whatever you got, if you could buy one item with it, that ain't no real money. Unless it's a property, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like something that
some
can
sort of
make you
asset.
money.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
it's yachts and shit that's $2.5 million. That's one item.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So if somebody can go spend it on one item like that, it ain't no real money. You ain't made it to no real money yet. Because it's like somebody out there that's spending it.
Like Big said, standing next to Jay and Puff on the dang, what coast he like standing next to Jay and Puff on the coast made me feel like $1 million never seemed so broke. Like he was just like, bro, he was a millionaire standing next to billionaire now. Yeah. And a multi-millionaire. You know what I'm saying? Like your little millions don't look like nothing compared to these. Because
they blowing that.
They blowing
what you thought was something.
Yes. And even from a kid's perspective, like when you were young and you got $100,
you think you rich?
I'm big.
But like if I was, $100, bro,
now,
I'm broke as fuck. If all I got is $100 to my, you know what I'm saying? Like I need help. Sure. You feel me? Sure. So it's just like I think as you level up, as you grow, you know what I'm saying, you also start to realize like some of this ain't really money. And if I'm really trying to get that money, then I have to delay.
Yep.
I have to delay so that I can really be stacking. So I can really be. And then too, I saw a post. It was saying active income and the passive income. And then passive income fuels your investment income. So it's like the money you work for should be put into something where you can spend money on it one time and it makes you money. So you don't have to keep working or create you something one time to where it keeps making money. Mm-hmm. Then you should take that money and then start trying to flip that money. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like, you know, it just has made it so simple. You know, it's like I said, for us, we all business owners, and I know it's real trendy now to you know what I'm saying, to own a business. So I just think to see that so plain was just like, yeah, bet I can use this. Like it's so simple now. Haircutting is like, barbering is making people look better. I just really like using my hands and making people look better or making things look better. Like I know barbering, even some slight housework, doing things around the house like fixing shit
even
up
with clothes and
shit.
stuff you
like,
did over years.
Clothes and stuff, like just cutting up and doing on my own shit with clothes. Like I can actively do that, have passion in doing that, but that's still active work, right? I need to get to this pass. You feel me? Where I can do it one time and continue to make
money while you sleep.
residual yes, for real. And I'm not just talking about stocks, because I look at my stocks and stuff as more of investment income, or shit, sometimes liability and loss. But it's an investment thing. I'm still missing this piece, and that's why I think 2021 is gonna be something. I was telling you that the other day, like we really need to like really tap in and make our active work
be passive.
Come in with something that we can make money off of and not even have to be there. Right. You know what I'm saying? Or not have to be present to make the money. So.
It's in the words for sure though.
Oh yeah, for sure. 2021, we have a new president coming in. Finally getting over the Trump era. Which wasn't that, I mean, people are so dramatic. It wasn't that bad. Like, the nigga crazy, but it wasn't that bad. Like, I mean, other than COVID, other than this year, at least in my opinion, it wasn't that bad. Like,
at least he honest, bro.
Man, like,
I will give him
it could have been worse. We could have really been out here on some
honest,
Ronald Reagan type shit out here. We could have been living through some like real life crazy shit out here and putting black people behind for real. But I mean, I think bro just he definitely different. He definitely not.
He's not
a face. He's not
politic.
he shouldn't be the face of America
because he's not for the people. He for himself.
Exactly.
But that's America.
Exactly. But that's the American dream. Like,
that's what throws me off. With so many people like, bruh, Trump shouldn't be the face of America, but he really is what America stands for. Like he is. you know what I'm saying, America. But now we have Joe Biden, Kamala Harris. How do you feel about, Kamala Harris being the first black woman vice president or in the White House period? Well,
I don't have any issues with her. I know that people, as far as have posted about like what she did in California, but if you look at her true track record, it wasn't anything that to me was something that was harmful to black people, because she did try to like right her wrongs. Mm-hmm. So I don't have a problem with her. I feel like we'll have to see, just because she'll be on a larger stage. So my vote would have been Stacey Abrams, but that's just because of her grassroots work. But I don't have a problem with Kamala Harris.
Right. This is one thing that I do give, because like you said, I was hearing so much about how she was putting niggas in jail. Putting, you know what I'm saying? She wanted to put us in prison.
That's all it is.
Like somebody had posted like a full article really detailing like what everything she tried to do in policy, she tried to make after that.
Exactly.
Like to kind of write it, you know what I'm saying? To even give some of these people, black especially, jobs, or be able to really put them back into the community, like have some rehabilitation type stuff. Like I saw what she was doing that. But what I realized though about most lawmakers is that no matter how well intentioned the law, there will always be people who are of poverty who will fall by the wayside. Like always. There will always be somebody that's gonna miss out on something. Like there is no, I don't think realistically, ideally, for sure, Democrats try to make sure everybody, but realistically, I believe that, you can only, like somebody is going to fall by the wayside. You can't make anything that's going to benefit everyone. So a lot of times that's us.
But that should be on us. We shouldn't, I guess that's also my thing. Like we have the power to change as far as the trajectory. We just don't do it. So it's like we are so dependent on like politicians and everything to like save people. Why? They don't give a fuck. Right. They here to collect the check, keep collecting the check, and live cushy.
Yeah.
Why do you think that they're for you making $10 an hour? That doesn't make sense. But as far as black people who actually have wealth, we could actually do something to actually help those people that are, as far as aren't doing well as a community. We have to stop thinking like, oh, they should save us. Why?
Right, for sure.
They didn't give a fuck when they brought us here. So why do you expect in 2020 and 2021 for them to give a fuck now?
Nah, for sure.
That don't make sense.
Nah, for sure. I definitely feel you on that, because I'm big on blacks getting financial freedom, and that's banking black. And I applaud Killer Mike. And I don't know the other men who invested in it, but I know Killer Mike is just the hip hop. I'm a hip hop guy, and they put a hip hop nigga on there who know what the fuck he talking about and know, you know what I'm saying, know what's going on out here. Yeah, I'm gonna support anything Killer Mike does, for real, because I know it's well intentioned. I might not agree with everything Killer Mike say or believe, because he's he's thoroughly into politics. Like he really understands what the fuck is going on with politics. I don't play that game as well. I'm still, people ask me all the time, like, why haven't you tried to like really get into politics, be a politician? I'm like, bruh, I want to be the type of person that affects change on a real nigga level. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Ground
like
zero.
Yeah, I want to be.
And then you're not gonna filter your shit, so
right,
that's also a nah.
I'm gonna be like
that's
Trump.
A hell
Niggas gonna
nah.
hate me. White folk gonna really hate me. You feel me? Because I'm gonna speak my mind. I mean, I'm gonna say all white people, but racist white people or prejudiced white people or privileged white people gonna hate me, bro. Real talk. Because I'm gonna speak some shit that they gonna really get mad at me about, and they gonna want to kill me. Real talk. And I know, like, boy, they really be killing politicians out here, for real. So I'm definitely not finna try to get caught up in no
they
shit
kill
like
hood politicians too.
Yeah, well, yeah. Damn right. Damn right they do. Damn right they do. But that's crazy too, because
anybody who has the potential to have a power surge and alter how the minds of black people are, you can get killed for that.
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
For sure. Because they know that knowledge is really power. And it's so crazy because we about to go into the segue where I was talking about earlier. We get on young people all the time about how they live differently and how they think differently. But growing up in this age of information, where like, see, we were born not in the age of information, but we kind of, once we were adults and grew up in it, you know what I'm saying? These kids are actually born in it. So they really like know what's going, like they know how to get, like young niggas getting money out here, for real. Young niggas out here getting money more than like, and we were talking about the Thug and Jay-Z earlier. Thug 29. And already at 29, he owns 100% of his label, YSL. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jay-Z at 29 didn't own 100% of Rockefeller. He had a big investor in Dame. You know what I'm saying? Like, although Jay...
It was a 3-way split.
Yeah, so although I feel as though those greats are still just as great as the young niggas now, I think we give young people so much flack for looking up to niggas like Young Thug. Like, why not? For a nigga who 20 and younger, you know what I'm saying? I can understand them wanting to be like Young Thug and not wanting to be like Jay-Z is 50.
Yeah.
That nigga is 50. That's a big gap. Like, Thug was tripping on the interview when he was saying things like, and this is what I mean by the gap. When he was saying things like Jay-Z I can go to the club, play 30 songs, perform a concert, 30 songs, and they gonna sing, I don't know how to say a word. It's true. Thug can do that. Niggas know his songs. Like, he can rap. He can just hold the mic up like that and niggas be rapping his songs. He was like, your favorite rapper can't do it. Jay-Z probably can't do it. Nigga, you tripping. Jay-Z got 30 songs. I ain't trying to bring your age in here running, but like from my age and up, like,
real talk, bro. Jay-Z, 2014, bro. Jay-Z came to BJCC and performed Magna Carta Holy Grail tour, and it was not one single song that the crowd
did not
let him finish.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, Jay-Z had that same effect, but the difference is the niggas that's in the club now ain't the same niggas that was at the Jay-Z concert. But that's the split. That's what we miss.
But it's not because Jay-Z's not gonna perform in the club. Jay-Z's only doing arenas, and every time he does an arena,
that's how Thug is now.
But I feel that. But what I'm saying is an equal effect.
Oh yeah, so yeah.
You're only gonna buy a ticket if you're a fan,
right?
So therefore, if he in an arena.
And Jay-Z really the first person that sold out the entire BJCC. Most people, they block off. He was the first nigga to really sell out the whole thing. And that's hard. Like, that's why I tell folks all the time, bro. You talk about how great these niggas going out selling out arenas in Atlanta and New York. That's the mecca of hip hop. Come down to Birmingham and sell out the BJCC and you did something. If you can't sell out the BJCC, you ain't that nigga. You not. Because it's hard to, because we not like that in Birmingham. So for you to get the niggas out there like that, spend money on you come to be, you got to be that guy. You have to be, or one of. That's all I believe. I believe that it's like a GOAT lineage. I've even done this in basketball. Now I finally accepted that LeBron is definitely in the GOAT lineage. I'm not gonna say he's the GOAT, but I feel like
of this generation.
Yeah, like it's because it's a generational thing.
Yeah.
Like, and the lineage just has to keep going. So it started with Kareem, Russell, Magic, Bird, Jordan, Kobe, Bron. Like, you got to put it in that same.
Yeah.
So with music, I believe it's the same thing. Like Jay, Wayne, even before Jay, Big, Pac, Jay, Nas. You know what I'm saying? Wayne, shit. Maybe Drake, Future. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Drake, Future. But then Thug. Like, I believe Thug, she gave me that thing. So you don't believe that Drake or Future could be like, let's put a pause.
Not Future, no. Drake.
Real talk, Drew.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, he definitely has just as much influence as Young Thug. If we gonna put Thug in that conversation,
he really was the first. Yeah, he was the real.
I agree. He has influence, but I'm talking about in terms of like music, like catalog.
See, you a woman. That's what it is. I'm not even trying to go there. Go on, tell me what you feel. But this is all I'm saying.
But why is it? Because I'm a woman. Like, please tell me.
Because y'all don't like.
Oh,
Future.
I like Future.
No, I'm saying,
I will rap.
I will rap
with him all day. I don't give a damn about your baby mamas and all that kind of shit. That has nothing to do with me. That has nothing to do with me.
Future got the catalog. What are you saying? Since 2000,
Future definitely got 30 songs that people gonna rap all the way through.
50, like, people love, like, people really swear by Future, like, on Future, nigga. Like, they really love Future.
You made it like I care about his personal.
But a lot of women do. I'm sorry.
He definitely is
not gonna be. I'm not gonna be stereotypical.
He definitely got like a cult following for sure.
And his influence.
It's his influence.
The drug culture, like, niggas been rapping about selling drugs, but niggas really talking about actively. What was the first song he did like that? When he dropped Dirty Sprite. He transitioned it from the phase of selling drugs and talking about trapping
to taking drugs and what you do while you're off of these drugs,
like,
and this lavish lifestyle that you live while inducing these yes, right.
I mean, I'll let you have
like him
it.
and Wiz, like Wiz was for the smoking
Weed,
culture.
just weed only,
just
though.
weed only, but
Future was everything else.
For influence,
Zan, bars,
Everything
Dirty
else.
Sprite. Like,
It ain't a song. He ain't made a song about this related to a drug.
for influence, I give you that. I will give you that. I just don't know if music catalog, if Future can hold up to Nas, Lil Wayne, like.
But it's all about what you listening for. Yeah, it's all about what you listening for.
These niggas ain't trying to just be so lyrical.
It's all about what you listening for.
It's not poetry anymore.
Because if we going off there, we not going off.
I don't listen to Thug.
Because even if we have, I'm about to say, if we got Young Thug in that conversation,
I don't listen to him like that. So it's like I like someone who's gonna talk about some shit that really like
mean something.
It's gonna mean something. I don't need to hear you talk some stupid ass shit that you try to rhyme.
Young Thug took Wayne's sauce and really just ran with it.
Off with it though.
Yeah, and he just he made it for the new generation.
And this is the crazy thing about it though. This how far Thug is. Cause when Wayne started doing it, niggas hated that shit. Wayne, why you doing all this? Thug did it. Made that shit like now Uzi, Juice WRLD, like all these young niggas that we look up to, except maybe even Young Boy be out here singing on tracks.
The first one on the front line is always the first to get shot. Yeah, for sure. So of course Wayne was gonna get shot. He was the sacrificial lamb for Young Thug to feel comfortable enough to do that shit.
Yeah, for sure. They always no one, and this can be just a good bow to put on the whole thing. Like just in life, period. Nothing happens just because you decide you woke up one day and just like you had to be inspired by someone, something had to give you that inspiration. We don't create inspiration. Like inspiration has to come from without.
We modify it.
Yeah, we can have the motivation and the determination, but to actually be inspired to do something, like you had to see it somewhere.
And you just modified them inspirations.
Right. So I don't want to take away from anything Jay and them done, but I think like as you are inspired, Jay started here, then Wayne took it a little further as far as just like the lyricism, and then when he tried to throw the sauce on it, because he was bored at just being the best rapper ever. Then Thug kind of took it even further, and then it's gonna be somebody else that's gonna take like Melly
progression.
I can't wait to Melly get out of jail if he ever get out of jail. That nigga is the next. Like he's next on that type of tip. You know what I'm saying? Now you still got your lyrical. That's what I like. That's what I prefer for the most part. But I like to bang my head too.
I mean, I like something if I feel like I want to turn up, but it's not something I'm just finna bump in my car every day.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
I feel it.
Well, before we get out of here, we just want you to tell the people a little bit more about what you do with your own business. Which I know you want. Just get you a little plug in right now.
Sure. So I do digital marketing for like small businesses and assist with any content creation ideas, social media calendars. So yeah.
So any creatives, you know what I'm saying, that are looking for some sort of marketing on social media on like a digital level. That's
email, ads, anything like that.
Content creation. Mm-hmm. I let my god sister Jules Marie, isn't that it? Jules Marie. I don't know how to spell it.
JUELZ.MARIE.
In front of it. Mm-hmm. My brother Dolo Fibonacci, y'all go follow him, man. He got dope music coming, bro. Don't tell him a little bit of something what you got coming up, man.
A Hustler's Dilemma will be dropped this month. I'm not giving a release date, and that's hosted by Carson Banks. He did all the production, him and London Blue. Shout out to them folks. And Savage video will be released this month, so be on the lookout for that. Those two things I got cooking up right now.
IV baby, innovative video.
Work.
Yeah, man.
Nothing less, only the best.
You know what time it is.